Hi, everybody. This is Laura from Healing with Spirit. Boy, what a crazy October going into November. There's a lot of things that we're working on. So there's so much happening that I took the idea of doing one video. It's going to be broken up into two. So this video will be talking about what we are working on, completing this year and moving into next year. That includes some of the retreats that we had this year and what we're doing next year to kind of spice it up a little bit. We'll be talking about the women's empowerment group, which I've been wanting to do for a while, as well as collaborations I'm working on and a scholarship fund. The second video is going to be more about the energies. That's probably going to be a little bit longer video, so stay tuned for that. We're going into the energies, the spiritual concepts, and the energies behind the political climate right now, as well as spiritual bypassing and what we can do now, okay, to kind of change the environment, what we're experiencing right now. So what I'd like you to do right now is to just take a deep breath in your nose and out your mouth. Just kind of shake it out, okay, because this is all energy, and we're going to be going into some things, but we just need to take that pause, even if it's just for 30 seconds. Just take that pause. So the first thing I wanted to say is I did a retreat in May, and it turned out absolutely marvelous, and so much so that we were asked to do it again. We decided to choose a larger space to accommodate more women, and we did. And the feedback that we got was unbelievable. So the retreat, by the way, if you're not familiar with it, was self-care, surrender to self-care, journey to self-discovery, and nurture your soul. Was a women's retreat. And for those of you who've been to my retreats will know that each one, even though the title might be the same, it is structured around the current energy climate. So the exercises or the things that we do might be different, but it's still addressing those same components. So here is just some feedback I want to read to you, just as a direct result of our last retreat a couple of weeks ago. Wow, I was nervous about this retreat. I did not know how to let go. After everyone letting go and opening up, I felt comfortable to tell my story and open up as well. Very releasing. The energy, the ability to share without judgment, the feeling of sisterhood, community you'll leave with this is amazing. I absolutely loved the freedom and the experience. I loved expressing myself without judgment. If you are looking for self-discovery and a sense of community in a safe space, this is for you. Loved, loved, loved. Take time for yourself, a gift of self-love, time for healing, and be in a safe space. All of the different aspects of the event kept it interesting and flowing. Go with an open mind and be assured that you will be loved and supported in a very positive, people, woman, willing, and ready to share their journey with yours. So I was really amazed. So I've been listening to Spirit, and Spirit keeps saying I need to be doing more retreats, or I need to be doing more kind of women's empowerment things, which has been a little bit of a struggle for me over the past few years, and how to structure it where it's received and that it's taken as a warm and welcome for women, which is I think is needed right now. We've gotten so disconnected from each other. So one of the things I added when I did the retreat last time was I added a feedback sheet, and I asked them reasons why somebody, just in one word, give me reasons why somebody should join us for a future retreat. And these were the common themes that I saw: self-care, love, happiness, sisterhood, it was safe, self-love, taking your power back, sense of sisterhood, community, joy in finding yourself, gratitude and peace, help with self-awareness, help with setting intentions for self-healing, be helpful for anybody seeking time for oneself, the cost, which is a big bonus, right? The content, the day versus a full weekend. Not everybody can take a full weekend off, which is why we designed this, okay? So my question to you is, if you're feeling, the energies are hugely intense right now. If you're feeling to need to get away, even if it's just for a day or for a weekend, please join us in 2019. We are targeting the end of March for our next one-day retreat. We are looking at possibly, I just talked to somebody beautiful yesterday that has 10 acres in Western Mass, to possibly do a retreat at the end of July and a one-day retreat sometime in the fall of next year. So that's what we're looking at for retreats. So if this is calling to you, please join in, because a lot of times we have limited capacity. We can only allow so many. And I know this is going to be a growing need that women are going to need as we move forward into 2019, which leads me to the second thing. I have been feeling for probably a few years now to somehow develop, and I did start one about 10 years ago, but I just didn't feel it connected right for some reason. But I have been feeling the need to come up with and create a women's empowerment circle. So one of the things I have been doing is surrounding myself with some amazing women that have really getting it done and doing it. And without excuses, without all of those things that sometimes weigh us down, okay? And it's been helping elevate and tweak some of the things that I have been doing. So one of the things I want to start doing, depending on, time schedules and everything else, I would like to maybe do one in December to kick off in the year this way. And so many of you have been hearing me talk about trying to launch one. If we do launch it at my office, we will be limiting it to a maximum of 10 individuals. Usually when I've seen some of the successful groups, they are 40 to 50 individuals. So, I will be looking for, if you can keep your eye open, for a larger space that is economical to accommodate this growing sisterhood community that's in a safe, here's the key, it's got to be a safe environment with no judgment. I've heard pros and cons from other circles, and my container is going to be safe. We're not going to be telling you what to do or how to live your life. This is about being free, being held, being supported in a community of sisterhood. Okay, I hope you hear me on this. My idea will also include bringing some powerful guests that I know that are really getting it done. Some teachers, some elders, some wisdom keepers and healers whose medicine I have witnessed that is beyond what I could ever imagine. So this is a time for you to step into your power and to free yourself. I think I wrote a quote recently on Facebook and posted it, that it is time to step into your power. When you step into your power, you free yourself, okay? Trauma is not what you may think. It manifests, many of you heard me say this before, in ways that we are unaware, and it's in our subconscious, and it even manifests in illness and diseases that doctors sometimes don't even know how to treat or handle, and then we just kind of go through the cycle, okay? And it is embedded in our society. I see this as probably the greatest pandemic of our times, is the inability to address and heal trauma, okay? It is like a virus that nobody sees it even exists, because we've normalized a lot of this. So if you have not already been feeling it, but now is the time to not only heal ourselves, but the whole collective, okay? And many of you heard me say about the rise of the divine feminine. This is important to know. It is time to also go deep in this huge collective trauma. When we do it collectively, we do it together in a sacred space, and we look at it straight in the eyes. This is not about me or anybody telling you how to deal with your trauma. This is about being witnessed. This is about being heard. This is about being supported and held, okay? We will dive into all that wounding that our soul has been experiencing, not only in our lifetime, maybe a past life, maybe generationally, okay? Some of us carry a lot of generational trauma with us. We will feel all that stuff, that what our soul has been crying out to us so we can heal it. Many of us have been feeling it inside, but we don't know what it is, okay? Been experiencing some weird sensations, but we don't know where it's coming from. This is a good place to start. It will be held in a very safe container. That's my goal. That's my mission. I do work with a lot of trauma survivors, so it is important to me that this is a safe container. And all those things that you have been fearing, I just say, you know what? Don't fear. Please join us and feel it together, and let's rewrite all these stories that maybe we've been telling ourselves. So here are some logistics. Okay. We would be required to, as individuals, bring a healthy snack, okay, that can be shared with the community. Also, we'll be asking that you bring something, depending on the location, either for like an altar or something for ceremony or for the altar for sacredness. Again, it's all about community and bringing things together, okay? We will have a limited of 10 spaces, so until we secure a larger space, we will be holding it at my Hingham office. We are targeting December. Right now, I'm considering, I know there's a lot of people that can't make Thursday mornings, but I am considering, at least for December, possibly a Thursday morning to kick it off. If this is a challenge for you, I implore you to please let me know one way or the other, because this will help me plan it in the future. If Thursday mornings are a challenge, let me know what days. I'm looking at possibly either a Friday night or a Sunday evening once a month to do this as well. So the cost would be on a sliding basis scale from $50 to $15. So anything over the base minimum would go towards bringing in guests, supporting my larger mission, which is healing trauma on the larger consciousness scale. It will go towards paying for any space, from the abuse to the racial injustice to the sexism, all these different things that we have been experiencing as a culture. I say this is very riddled in trauma that we need to kind of heal. So anything above that minimum would go towards any of those additional expenses, as well as I mentioned before, some guests or for some of that larger healing work. And with your financial support, you also support my mission, because some of us that are doing this for the greater good of all, we also need to eat and keep a roof over our heads. We're not asking to be wealthy, but we're asking to make sure that those are provided so we can do this work for the greater rules, for the greater good. So here are some rules if you decide to join us. There will be firm rules to create a safe container for all who attend, meaning we will be discussing healthy boundaries if it needs to be addressed. This will be anyone that identifies as a woman. Okay, this is not a judgment call. So if you identify yourself as a woman, then we welcome you. Those who have attended my retreats that I have hosted have gotten a glimpse of possibly what to expect, maybe in these empowerment groups. So let me know. It's very important if this interests you, or if there's any questions, to please also let me know. It's very important. So the third thing I wanted to mention is I have been working for the last year, if not two, finding some really powerful, I've decided to spend some serious money and learning from really strong, powerful healers, teachers, people that just don't talk it but walk it. Probably because I'm a Pisces and I also have a trauma background, that I felt that was very important for me. So I am looking for right now communication geniuses that can help me find the right words to help me propel my mission. So if you know anybody that, and I mean like some serious go-to, I'm looking for people to help me take my voice and help me carry it to another level. Spirit has been telling me for 5 years I need to be taking, especially my trauma work, on the national level. So I'm asking for your help and the right collaborations to help make that happen. So the fourth one is, many of you know my work with Masso and trying to get that started. I am not into building a nonprofit. There's so much red tape, so much BS, and I felt 80% of my time being riddled with trying to do the logistics and behind the scenes, and less about helping survivors of abuse. So I want to switch gears, and I'm looking for the right people to help me with a concept that I have. Some of you heard me talk about this, but that's to build a scholarship fund. And I have two areas that I would like to build this in. One, I have a passion for two places. One, like I said, trauma, those that have been victimized or abused, especially if they are being financially abused, which is a very common tactic abusers do to kind of suppress the victim's voice. I want to be able to not have them worry to come for sessions or appointments, that they can come for the healing they need so they can break out of that trauma cycle, okay, and really restore that wholeness in their lives. The other area is for those experiencing end of life. And again, because of the economic status that many that experience end of life, I want to try to create a scholarship program. I'm all for a lot of the volunteer programs that exist. But what I found with working with a lot of individuals that are faced with end of life, they are also restricted with getting the kind of care that I feel sometimes is needed because it's done on set schedules. And for me, it's I want to be there. If you're dealing with end of life and this is coming your time, I want to be able to give you 110%, not 10%. I just come here for a day and then, oh, well, I'm with the organization and I won't be back for another couple of weeks. Well, you might not even still be alive. But I feel like if you've got this going on, then you know what? I will be here 3 days this week or 4 days this week, or I'll be organizing people that can come and do that because this is important to me. You know, it's called quality of life. And I've witnessed so many miracles that may not have stopped the progression of the illness that took these lives, but I've witnessed the quality of lives. That means that they're not sitting in a bedridden with bed sores and all those things that are debilitating, basically having the body just completely just fade away in a very painful way. In my perspective, it doesn't have to be that way. And that's what I've witnessed. So my thing is I would love to try to create a scholarship fund for those experiencing end of life so they can get the kind of holistic and alternative care medicine that I feel is desperately needed in those industries that a lot of these Western medicine is wonderful, but in one case that I can experience with a friend of mine, it didn't stop their inability to stop swallowing, and they couldn't even swallow their own saliva. But with the work that we did, it sustained them. And they were able to eat, they were able to carry conversations, they weren't stuck in a bed literally up until 24 hours before they passed. So this is what I'm talking about, and it can make a huge difference when it comes to the last days of somebody's life. So I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for those who have experience in building scholarship funds, your assistance and leadership in this to help me do this. It takes money to sustain this mission, so I'm asking for your help in helping secure some of this. So I'm asking, do you want in? Do you want in? So this is what we're working on moving into 2019. And on top of all the speaking things, like I said, I'm hearing the need that I need to get this voice on healing trauma on a larger scale and a larger stage. And so I'm asking for your help and the help of the community, as well as the divine help here to help me make that happen. If that's something I am supposed to do, then I'm asking for your assistance. So that's what is happening for us. We do have a lot of classes coming up. We do have a special event coming up on December 1st on, it's a mediumship demonstration at my office. It's one we do once a year. We do have self-care for the empath. So if you're feeling the need, you're energetically drained, and you're not sure how to balance out the energies, it might be a good class for you. All of it can be found on my website. I do corporate wellness. I do speaking engagements. So please reach out if you feel that I could be of assistance to you, your group, your organization, your work, in any of these manners. And my website is www.laurahealingwithspirit.com. Again, it's www.laurahealingwithspirit.com. So thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to working together as a community to help us heal on a collective level, because that's greatly needed right now. Thank you.